Hey, yo, what it do? This is your boy, Dr. Delta, aka Chemo, and I'm coming to you with another little bit of story time. So in 2011, when we were forced out of the Divinity Tree on Geary in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, and I was being threatened with 30 years in the feds, we had just set up a 100 light grow in Hunters Point, Bayview district of San Francisco, directly next to Thrasher magazine at Underwood and Ingalls. God, we rocked that spot for about 3 years until the landlord lost his business in San Francisco and his crew convinced him to kick me out so they could continue to do the same. But we were rocking in there for about 3 years. We had gotten broken into, and pretty much, fuck, if I hadn't got some lines of credit and different things, I would have been out on the street, because my overhead in San Francisco at the time was almost 10 grand a month, which is, this is going on 10 years ago. These days, that's actually pretty standard to continue to be in that neck of the woods. But yeah, no, we were able to pull it back together. And it was to the point where there was somebody had to sleep there every night. So the pay the cost to be the boss. Usually it was me and one or two of my pit bulls. And I was in there sleeping one night. This was in, I believe it was June 2013. And my dog, Juanita, female blue-nosed pit bull, Gotti line, that I still post pictures of periodically. I'll post one today. She woke me up by bumping my elbow like, wake up. When I looked up, I'm in my wife beater and boxers on a futon bed. And I look up at the security camera and there's about 4 or 5 people trying to pry down my front door. And I hear this doosh, doosh, doosh. And there's a metal door, which I had a steel bar on the bottom holding it. And they had compromised the top of it. I grabbed a Remington 870 pump action shotgun, and throwing a 50-shot bandelier, and I run down the stairs out of the little, what used to be an office that we turned into a little apartment. Run downstairs, and there's a hallway, and the door that they're trying to pry comes in at 90 degrees. So I'm sitting there at the end of the hallway, just holding the shotgun, and the adrenaline is pumping. The concrete warehouse floor is freezing cold. And I got my dog just like Juanita just sitting right there. She knew it was go time. She didn't bark. She woke me up. That bitch got a $50 grass-fed ribeye fucking steak. I'll repost a picture of that today as well. For waking me up. She knew what time it was. After about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it seemed like an eternity of me waiting at the end of that shit for it to come in. I was just gonna blast them all down. I had 50 shots, fucking six in the fucking pump action, and I was ready to go. And these were no joke rounds. We're talking the first 3 are just regular buckshot. I had zombie rounds that had a slug that also shoots out 3 pieces of buckshot, and then a solid hollow point slug at the end is how I used to pack all my shotguns. So after about almost a couple minutes that felt more like 20 minutes, I end up going right up to the crack in the metal door that they've compromised, and I shove the fucking shotgun straight through the fucking crack, and I feel it hit somebody in the neck, and that's when I just fucking cock it without saying a word. Analyzing the kind of grainy CCTV footage afterward, I definitely hit about a 300-pound boy from the hood in the fucking neck, and they ran off. Looking at the street, there was actually 3 cars, and I believe that it was estimated 7 to 9 people in a van and 2 SUVs. They were definitely very not happy that they weren't able to come in and compromise my property again, steal another box of weed or whatever the fuck they got the first time. And yeah, definitely something that it's trauma that's imprinted in my fucking DNA. When you've had to ran off motherfuckers with shotguns. I'm glad I didn't have to blow someone's head off, because I was prepared to do that. That's why I was sleeping there. They had already almost put me in the streets, literally on the streets, from fucking not being able to pay 2 houses worth of rent, almost $10,000 in itself, $10,000 fucking warehouse rent, $10,000 fucking power bill at commercial rate, employees, groceries, gas, fucking dogs, playing Captain Save-A-Bro, employing too many people. There was a lot on my shoulders at the time. And I think back about how different my life would have been in the trajectory if I'd literally blown someone's fucking head off trying to get into my fucking weed grow. That's firearms charges. I did have an active dispensary permit still, even though I was just there, oh, if you find another place. can re-permit. It was basically just a little bone they threw us just in case I got caught with a bunch of weed again. City of San Francisco was fairly supportive in that regard. They wouldn't rent us real estate to let us get back in the game. But anyway, that's Dr. Delta Story Time, number 2, I believe. And definitely something that I don't wish on my worst fucking enemy, because an adrenaline rush like that is pretty crazy. But yeah, no, the next day, those motherfuckers brought back one of the cars, the Explorer that they lit on fire right in front of, literally right in front of the curb in front of my warehouse to send me a message that they weren't happy. But fuck y'all motherfuckers. You didn't get back in, and I was able to fucking feed my daughter and my family for another year or so while I was in that building. But yeah, these are the stories that people always ask me. Like, man, I want to hear the story about the real shit. I told that story on GW Smopkebreak. Big shout out GW Smopkebreak. That was the first podcast that I ever did. That was just last year. And I look forward to using this medium. You guys are great. Remember, love over everything. I love you all. Because if you don't love yourself, who can love you? Or nothing without it. Have a great fucking day.